Folks, welcome to an all new week. Listen, happy Memorial Day. This is So Bad It's Good. This is your pal Ryan. If you have to work this Memorial Day, I am so sorry, but if it makes you feel any better, I'm working right now too. I mean, this is not work, it's podcasting. It's fun. I hope you were able to get some kind of respite this weekend and recharge your tanks. Now, for the people that do get Monday off, just remember when you go back to work on Tuesday, you only have 4 days of work instead of 5 days. This is simple math, but it's taken me decades to really hone in on it. How are you guys doing? I hope you're okay. We, as always, are doing a pop culture roundup with Sophie Ross. I thought this was really funny. I needed these laughs. We cover it all, but there's so many things that I didn't get to. So that will be on Tuesday's episode where we will continue the pop culture conversation because I didn't get to a new Britney story, Britney Spears, a Diddy story. There was some Selling Sunset drama I didn't get to. So come back on Tuesday. Come back every day of the week. And also, I just released a Patreon. What up, baddies? Released a Patreon. I recap every one of the Valley after shows, which they air on Peacock. And these things are so dense. There's so much I'm not going to say great conversation, interesting tidbits in the conversation. So I did like a full hour recap. So if you want to join patreon.com/so bad it's good. We also had a Patreon live last week. You can go and watch that, even though, it was live, but it's still, I think, somewhat entertaining. So what did you see? Did you see the new Mission Impossible movie? I didn't get to see that yet. I'm hoping to go tomorrow. I think we're going to go to the beach tomorrow. I haven't been to the beach in a minute, but it sounds like that could be a fun place to be. I'm not going to take my shirt off, don't worry. But by the way, I am on are we on day 19 or 20 of my health journey? I stayed strong all weekend, folks. Been eating clean, been working out every day. By the way, does my voice sound skinnier? does my voice sound more energetic and full of vim and vigor? Listen, we're going to do a what to watch this week right now, and then we'll get to Sophie Ross. And also, just to let you know, I think I have a host read ad for Naked Wines in this, which you will hear. And I know sometimes people are like, I'm going to skip commercials. I implore you, listen to the ones, especially if they're host read. And Naked Wines is great. I got a whole shipment of their wines, and I was able to drink a couple. Unfortunately, I have not drank for the last 3 weeks, but this Naked Wines stuff was great. So if that is your jam, use my product code. I am proud of this show, and I want to do good for you, but I also want to do good for any sponsors. So go check out Naked Wines. If you are on YouTube, you'll get to see my video version of the commercial. It's because we're over on YouTube. A lot of people don't even realize we're on YouTube, but we put most of the shows up there. In fact, you can even check out Sophie and I. I mean, I hesitate to say that sometimes because I'm like, oh, I want you to still listen to the audio podcast. I think I'm the only person in the podcast game that's like, I wish there was a law that just made it so this was an audio podcast. And I know I could potentially have that choice myself, but everything is pushed to video now. And I'm like, okay, so we're just literally making talk shows, which has always been a dream of mine. But I got into this because I loved radio. I love voices. And then you have to think about like how you look. Like, listen, I'm naked from the waist down. And I think you guys know that listen to the audio version. By no means do I want to share, no means do I want to share more of me like that. But whatever, we have the YouTube, go subscribe. Really, really fun over there. I appreciate all of your support as always. So let's get into some TV and what to watch this week, okay? Now, tonight, we had Real Housewives of Atlanta, and Phaedra Parks has finally shown up. Now, we are literally in the last third of the season, so not a moment too soon. But Phaedra Parks comes back. I have not been able to watch it yet. I'll watch it after this. We also had a new episode of Love Hotel, and I have to tell you, Love Hotel is such a sleeper Bravo show that I feel like people are sleeping on, but when they watch it, they really enjoy it. It is easy breezy cover girl. I mean, there's some drama, but it is just so viewable. And I think that's kind of the goal of television. And sometimes you have like buzzier shows like The Valley or Summer House or even Atlanta to a degree, and you can really sleep on those other Bravo shows. And I want a second season of Love Hotel. Not with the same women, nothing against them, but I think this is perfect to bring in and usher in a new group of women every season they do this. So go watch Love Hotel. I swear to God, Bravo doesn't pay me, which is shocking. They really should pay me. Tonight, we also had the season finale of Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal. I've been talking about this show for, I think the last 6 weeks. You'll hear me drop a comment here or there. And it truly is an insanely beautiful art piece of a show. Tonight's finale, I watched this and I was like, no effing way. Nathan Fielder did something because this whole season has been about air safety. And by the way, I know this is a comedic show that he does, but really, air safety, what a time to release this when there are so many aircraft accidents and, the airline industry seems to just not be. By the way, I'm love that I'm like, airline industry is not able to get their shit together. Just kind of like me studying for a math test, but unfortunately, people's lives are at stakes. So this whole season of The Rehearsal was based on airline safety, and then Nathan Fielder did something in the finale, which I don't know if I should ruin it for you guys or not. And I don't know even how many of you, I want to talk about it so badly, but I won't. But he does something that he does like 100% for real, but it took him years to do. And they navigate the process of him doing this in the finale. And I was blown away. And it is funny, but you're just more, it's almost like David Blaine, the magician, where you're like, what is real and what isn't? Anyways, I highly recommend this season of The Rehearsal. But once again, remember, it is not like Friends. It is not one of those multicam or single cam sitcoms. It works on a completely different level. So you almost have to divorce your mind from any sort of expectations going in. And you're like, Ryan, well, can I expect it'll be good? Maybe it might be, it's going to work completely for some people, and some people it's not going to work for immediately. And then it's going to slowly, like a virus, like this show, kind of creep into your subconscious. And then there's going to be people, they're just going to hate it regardless. But I recommend it. Now, tonight we also had the season finale of this season of The Last of Us. Now, Pedro Pascal, I'm going to miss that dude. I'm going to miss that dude. So that Pedro Pascal, he's just amazing. And I'm so sad that he is not on The Last of Us anymore. But the show must go on, and the show is going on. We had the season finale, very short season of The Last of Us, but they put so much money in that show. My God, that second episode of the season, I can't even imagine how much money that cost. So we have that. And then tonight, Monday night and Tuesday night, we have the 4-part docuseries, Sherry Papini, Caught in a Lie. And we were lucky enough to have the director of that docuseries on So Bad It's Good. I think we released it this past Wednesday. So after you watch this, it's on ID Discovery, but it's streaming on Max. I want to know what you guys think. Go back and listen to that interview. I think you'll hear some of, not my frustration, but my questioning of certain things. But I thought it was really well done. Having said all of that, I'm just so excited to have the audience see it and see what they think. And I have a feeling a lot of people are going to have something to say about this. So that is out there. And then, of course, on Bravo, we have Below Deck, Down Under. And I believe this week I will be on Watch What Crappens because Ben took a trip to like Oslo, I think. So Ronnie, they asked me to fill in for that, and I cannot wait. Always love talking to Ronnie and Ben, or just any of those variations I love talking to. And then on Tuesday, we take a trip back to hell. I mean, the Valley. And then on Wednesday, we will have the part 1 of the Summer House reunion. And remember, it is a bedroom shaped theme, I guess, or a bed bugs theme because of Paige. So you have that over there. I think on Thursday, you have Top Chef. And then the week after, remember that new show, Next Gen NYC premieres, which, I talked about. It's hard with new shows with all of us. It's hard to accept new characters into our lives, right? Then now over on HBO Max, we can call it HBO Max now. No more Max. I'm holding up double middle fingers to Max. Let's just get back to calling it HBO. We have the 3rd season of Sarah Jessica Parker's And Just Like That. Sophie and I talk a lot about this, or not a lot, a little about this in regards to no more Che Diaz. I'm sorry, Che. I'm sorry for all the negative things I said about you. I said them in good fun, and I also said them in the thought that you would always be on this show. They took all of our bitching and moaning and joking and memeing to they took it too hard, and now she is not. Now they are not on the show anymore. So a goodbye to Che Diaz. Now, over on HBO Max as well, this weekend we have the premiere of the film Mountainhead, which was made for HBO Max, and it stars Steve Carell, like a lot of great actors. But more importantly, it's written and directed by Jesse Armstrong. And if that name doesn't sound familiar to you, well, it should, because Jesse Armstrong is the creative mind behind the amazing television show Succession. And it's about a bunch of billionaires going to their mountain retreat. And listen, you're like me. You're probably like, we do not hear enough about billionaires in this day and age. We, we obviously this is a comedic slant on it, but Jesse Armstrong's writing is so laser-like in its precision and taking down billionaires in a sense and showing us how ridiculous and how childlike billionaires are. And I don't mean childlike in a beautiful way, if you catch my drift. So I cannot wait to watch this movie this weekend. Also over on Apple TV Plus, we have Bono, the lead singer of U2. It's called Bono Stories of Surrender. He did a one-man show about stories from his autobiography, which I loved. It was called Surrender. And I highly recommend, if you like U2, listen to the audiobook. There is something so beautiful about Bono's voice, not just singing voice, but his speaking voice. And you forget how many amazing things Bono has tried to do for this world, whether it be debt forgiveness for third world countries or his help in fighting the AIDS crisis. Just amazing work. The dude has been around everything on top of being a rock star. Even if you don't like U2, even if you're still pissed that Apple put that U2 album on your iPhone, which by the way, rest in peace as always to Becky Bailey. Man, she was befuddled when she woke up one day and that U2 album was on her iPhone. She was like, right. She thought she had done something wrong on her phone. And then she got, well, I didn't want this. I didn't ask for this. Nobody asked for this. It was a free album that they put on all of our phones. And U2 will never live this down. Anyways, they have filmed Bono's story. So it's called Bono Stories of Surrender. I can't wait to watch that as well. It wouldn't be a week if Netflix didn't have some sort of murder docuseries. And this week, it is called Cold Case: The Tylenol Murders. Cold Case: The Tylenol Murders over on Netflix for all us deviants that need. Do you think we'll ever run out of murder stories to make docuseries of? It feels like nobody ever truly culturally prepared for how strong of an impact Dateline would have. Like there was always Dateline, and I remember when that took hold of, like, for me, what was that, like 2003, 2004, I got really into Dateline. And then over on CBS on Saturday nights, you had, what was it? 48 Hours Murder Mystery, 48 Hours. It was called 48 Hours. And for a clip, 48 Hours was pretty damn good. 48 Hours have ended up falling off. And I would always say, and this is how desensitized we are sometimes through our pop culture lens. With Dateline, I got snobby. I got like, I wanted a certain person hosting. You know, you have your favorite Dateline anchors. And I mean, you truly have your favorite Dateline anchors. And then I would judge it by, is it an hour-long episode or is it a 2-hour-long episode? If you had an hour-long episode of Dateline, you're like, ugh, not a strong enough story to make 2 hours of. Is it worth my time? But if you had a 2-hour one, you were like, ooh, the getting is good. And all the while, this is about a real life, somebody losing their life. And I'm sitting there going, oh, 2 hours, amazing. Insane. But I feel like we all do that to a degree. And then sometimes they would have the 2-hour episodes where you're like, this could have been an hour. This could have been an email. So, yeah, Cold Case: The Tylenol Murders. Now, on NBC, streaming on Peacock on Tuesday, we all have a new competition reality series called Destination X. It is hosted by the actor Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I have no idea what to expect out of this, but you know, I mean, ever since Traitors and my ongoing love of Survivor, which we talk about in this episode as well, I am obsessed with competition reality series. So I think I'm going to check out Destination X. That's on Tuesday. Now over on FX, we have a new comedy, a new sitcom called Adults. And it is kind of like what it's being pitched of is like Friends for Gen X or I don't even know what generation, but it's a Friends type sitcom called Adults. But I also recommend Overcompensating. uh, from the mind of Benito Skinner over on Amazon Prime. So we have all of that, and I'm trying to think. I always leave things out, and because there's just too much TV. Okay, I got the Summer House finale, Atlanta Valley, blah, 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 blah. And then, oh, this is it. I talk about this at the very end with Sophie, but I really recommend HBO Max's two-part docuseries about the life of Paul Rubens, aka Pee Wee Herman. Yes, it is long, but I thought it was beautiful. I thought his life was really, truly incredible. Not just the work he did with Pee Wee Herman, but finally getting to know the man behind Pee Wee Herman. And I thought he had this just fantastically beautiful story. And I'm so sad that he passed away. I was a huge Pee Wee Herman. I don't think anybody would be surprised. Huge Pee Wee Herman fan as a kid. In fact, I watched this docuseries and then I turned on Pee Wee's Big Adventure on HBO Max right after it. Just genius. And also, that was Tim Burton's first full length film. I mean, can you imagine? Tim Burton. Wow. Also, I'm going to pour one out for this season of Love After Lockup on WeTV. We watched the finale on Friday, and we have to wait until August for a new season of Love After Lockup. Usually, it'll be like Life After Lockup or Love After Lockup, and they'll be on the heels of each other. But now we have to wait 2 months because Mama June has a new show on We. No offense to Mama June. There was a time where I got into Honey Boo Boo, but there is nothing like Love After Lockup. I was like, this is cinema when I watch Love After Lockup. Also, remember The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. If you have not caught up on that, you got 10 episodes to stream on Hulu, and then go listen to my interview I did with them 2 weeks ago. Your Friends and Neighbors, I think the finale was on Apple TV+. Another weird one that I watch every week, which is in the Nathan Fielder rehearsal category kind of, is Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, hosted by John Mulaney, and it really kind of turns the talk show format on its heels and really makes something different. And sometimes it works spectacularly and sometimes it doesn't, but it's one of those things where I appreciate the attempt. I love it so much. Also, I got about a quarter of the way through the movie Mickey 17. It stars Robert Pattinson. You can stream it now on HBO Max. This is the film by Boon Jung-ho. I hope I'm getting that name correctly, but he is the genius that directed the movie Parasite, which won Academy Awards. If you have never seen Parasite, oh my God, you guys. I watched Parasite again about a year and a half ago, and it so holds up. This guy is amazing. And I got that about a quarter of the way through. It's something very different. There's a little bit of Dr. Strangelove vibe happening. Robert Pattinson doing really kind of an extreme character from what we see usually of Robert Pattinson. But so far, I have been loving it. So that is what I'm going to be watching this week. And I know I'm probably forgetting 20 to 30 things, but what are you watching? Let us know in the comments. I know Spotify, they let you comment on the episodes, which by the way, hey Spotify, but also hey Apple, and also hey YouTube. So that is it for today, and we are getting right to Sophie Ross after this commercial break. Have a great Memorial Day, you guys, and I'll talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.